Hey, what's going on, YouTubers? This is Zen Manga here, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. So we just got I don't know. I guess I wasn't really looking out for new anime, but I kind of was revealed to a brand new anime called The Promised Neverland, and let me tell you, this anime is amazing. Now I know it does have a manga adaptation. Actually, the this is the adaptation, but this anime kind of threw me through a loop. Now I only saw a quick synopsis. I read a quick article on it, so I said, let me check it out because I love animes that really put you in a high level thinking state, such as like Death Note and things like that. So this anime is about 38 children who are in an orphanage that is called home, right? That's the only name for it. So as you see them, they seem to be having a really good time in school, learning their studies, and they go outside and play games such as tag, which is one of the main games they play. So we're introduced to a couple of characters named Emma, Norman, and Ray. And prior to that, we know that they're actually the smartest students who usually get really good great grades on their tests. One of the things that we're not too sure about is that on basically on their neck they have I would just say numbers, right? So we're not too sure what that is, but everyone everyone in the orphanage seems to be like having a great time. But what we are introduced to is on the, I guess you would say that all the kids on the orphanage, there's a lot of land where they could go, but then there's a certain point where they cannot proceed to go, right? So they have to stay in the confines of this area. And after a game of tag, and I think it's Norman who usually wins the game of tag, because Norman is just really, he's just smart in the sense of analytical skills on a, I guess, on an environmental level, right? Emma's just she's smart as well, but for her, she's more of a athletic tactician, and Ray, he's just the overall observation specialist, right? He's just really smart. So they show all of this in some respects in the game of tag, but during the game of tag, we do see the kids at the end, just saying to Norman like, "Oh, you always win," things like that, and then they do a game of tag again, but this time it's everyone is it, and Norman is basically the person who they have to catch. So Emma basically catches Norman, and all the kids run up to them, and they're on the outside skirts of the, I would say, of the land. So all the kids basically reminisce about, like, what is it going to be when they leave, and they give all the things that they hope to see when they get out, things of that nature, because it's when they're basically 12 years old, that's when they quote unquote they leave the orphanage, right? So basically they go back, things like that, and not Isabella, pardon me, Emma is basically saying like, I love the orphanage because all my family members are here, and you got to remember that they've lived with each other since they were babies. So everything sounds perfect, right? Everything sounds perfect. We have three kids who seem to be the main stars of the anime so far. And we also have a little girl named Connie. Now, Connie is a sweet little girl. She loves Mother. Mother is actually Isabella, who I just mentioned a little bit earlier by accident. Isabella is basically, she's the caretaker of all of the 38 children, so they all call her Mother. So I guess, but a little bit before this, you have to understand, right, that Connie is one of the ones who scored, I believe, the lowest grade on one of the tests, right? And this test is the test that they have. They don't really show what type of test, but you could tell it's just like an IQ analytical based test, right? She scored the lowest, and I think it's the following day. I'm not too sure. They show her, basically, it seems, right, seemingly that Connie is going off to leave the orphanage, right? Or she's going to get picked up by a new family. So everyone is crying, and, they're going to miss Connie and things like that. So they take, Isabella, or Mother, takes her away. All right, cool. Everything seems okay, but it seems sad at the same time, because you kind of feel for Connie, and you kind of feel for the kids because they known her since since they were all born, basically. And Connie is 6 years old, so we're wondering why she's gotten taken out when it's they're fostered by the age of 12. But whatever, you just think that a new family is just picking her up. So they walk her outside. So basically Emma and Norman. Well, Emma finds Connie's doll, right? And Norman's like, okay, we still have time. They just left. Let's go to bring it. Let's go to bring it back. So they rush out to, I guess, basically the gate of the orphanage, and they're like, we shouldn't really go. But Norman's like, whatever. We'll deal with the scolding later. Let's just, give her back her toy, right, or her stuffed animal. So as they're going, it seems like they see some trucks and things of that nature. They don't really think anything of it, other than it's a dark area, and they're pretty much gonna get in trouble soon. But whatever, because grown-ups are around. So they go and they hear something, but they're not too sure what they hear, and they don't want to get caught, so they hide under. Well, they kind of like shift around the truck that's there, and as they turn the corner, they see Connie's body inside the back of the truck. And it is kind of baffling at that point because you're thinking while you're watching this, like, oh, okay, like, we know something bad is gonna happen, but then to see Connie's body right in the back of the truck, because we just saw this sweet little girl, and then it just like that just went left field out of nowhere. Like, things got dramatically serious out of nowhere. So as they're coming, they're hearing some voices, and you should see the faces of Emma and Norman, because it kind of matches your reaction to like seeing Connie's body in the back of the truck. And they go, as they hear other people coming, they shift and they hide under the truck. As they're hiding under the truck, let me tell you, this part really kind of like threw me off a little bit. They start to see the footsteps of what looks like monsters, and basically when they look, they see. Well, we're kind of shown one of the monsters who are picking up Connie's body and then putting her in this kind of like case, basically, because what it seems to be is that the orphanage is really a farm for what they're gonna do and sell. And I'm not too sure about this, but it seems as if the kids with the highest IQ are the ones that are cultivated more, because they're the ones who taste better, I guess, for the rich. I'm not too sure, a little bit. And then the ones who are basically get lower scores, they could be, they could just be sold off to pretty much anyone, right? Or rich demons. So basically everyone in the orphanage is basically on a farm, kind of like, think about it like a pig farm or something like that. So the kids are hyper scared. Both Emma and Norman are really scared, and they don't know what to do. But then one of the lead monsters, he's like, I smell something, or I hear something of the nature, right? So as you think they're about to get caught, he looks under the truck, and they're gone. At this point, we shift scenes, and both basically Emma and Norman are running back to the orphanage, and they are so scared. And you hear Emma just like really scream out. At that point, when I heard her scream, I thought they were gonna get caught. But then they end up going back to the orphanage. They're not caught, and they go into someone's room. I'm not too sure if it's Emma or Norman's room, and they're basically talking about like, what are we gonna do? And then Norman's like, well, we got a plan. We have to plan. We have to strategize. We have to get out of here. And Emma's like, no, but it can't just be like us that gets out of here. And Norman's like, no, we gotta get all of our. Basically, he's like, we gotta get all 38 of us out of here. And we see Ray later on, kind of like eavesdropping on the side, so he's probably privy on the information from what they were telling each other. And the three are just gonna be the basic, the three are gonna be the ones to get everyone out of there, hopefully. But let me tell you, this anime is it's really appealing to me, and it's awesome. How I thought it was going to be something, and it turned out to be something very different. So it was recommended to me, especially for like Death Note. I'm not too sure how far it's gonna. A lot of people have read the manga. I'm not gonna read the manga because I'm enjoying my first watch of the anime. And for those of you who just watch this, I'm gonna give this first episode basically a 10 out of 10, I was definitely immersed in the episode. When I mean immersed, it means like I wasn't thinking about anything else except for the characters in the show while watching the show, right? Kind of felt like I was with them the whole entire time, and that's the essence of a really good anime. When you feel so immersed in, the span of like 26 or 24 minutes that you're just like, oh snap, like like it ended, but it also feels like you just came back to life or you came back to reality once it's finished, right? So overall, a really good anime. Please, I would say go out and watch this anime. It's really good. It's a good shift, and it just kind of like throws you off for a little bit because when you think about the age of the kids, you're not really thinking about like where it's gonna go until things get really real. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this review and this like ultimately big spoiler for episode 1. But I would give this episode again a 10 out of 10. This is Zen Manga saying peace, and go ahead, drop me a like and a subscribe, and let's discuss the episode if you happen to watch it already. All right, everyone, take care. Peace.